You leave a conversation and nothing bad happened. No argument, no disagreement, no obvious tension. And yet, something feels different. You feel quieter than before, slightly smaller, as if some part of your energy stayed behind in the room while the rest of you walked away. Most people don't notice the moment when this change begins. They only notice it later, when the conversation replays in their mind, when they remember a sentence they almost said, when they realize they agreed more quickly than they meant to, or when they notice a strange sense of fatigue that doesn't match how ordinary the interaction seemed. At the time, it feels normal. Your voice softened. Your response became shorter. You chose the easier sentence instead of the honest one. And it didn't feel like a mistake. It felt reasonable, mature even, like you were keeping things smooth instead of making them complicated. Because your nervous system was already solving a problem you didn't consciously see. Every conversation contains an invisible negotiation, not about facts and not about who is right. It's about safety. Your nervous system is constantly scanning for signals that answer a quiet question beneath the surface of social interaction. Is it safer to remain fully present here, or safer to adjust? This happens faster than thought. A change in tone, a pause that lasts slightly longer, a moment where certainty appears on the other person's face. Nothing dramatic, just enough uncertainty for the body to react. Your breathing becomes slightly shallower, your shoulders settle inward. Your words become more careful, shaped not only by what you think, but how you expect they will be received. And the adjustment happens before you decide to make it. This is why the experience feels confusing afterward. You don't remember choosing to hold back, you remember peace. And peace feels intelligent. It feels emotionally responsible, like you understood the situation and responded appropriately. But the nervous system measures something different. It measures tension, and reducing tension always requires energy. Not immediately. The conversation continues smoothly. Everyone remains comfortable. There is no visible conflict. But afterward, your body feels subtly drained, not exhausted, just quieter, as if you were concentrating the entire time without realizing it. Because you were. You were monitoring reactions, adjusting tone, predicting responses, making small corrections in real time to prevent discomfort before it appeared. That constant monitoring pulls attention away from your own internal experience. Instead of simply being present, part of you becomes responsible for maintaining stability. Over time, this creates distance between what you feel and what you express. What makes this difficult to recognize is that nothing external needs to go wrong for it to happen. The other person may not intend pressure. They may simply speak confidently or take up space without hesitation. But certainty can feel like something to adopt around. And adaptation, once learned, happens automatically. So you speak a little less directly. You soften reactions. You let certain moments pass without correction. And afterward, you feel the difference. Not because the conversation was harmful, but because something inside you remained unfinished. A thought interrupted halfway. A reaction that never fully formed. A boundary sensed but not expressed. The nervous system recognizes incompletion. It knows when expression stopped before reaching its natural end, and that unfinished energy remains active long after the interaction ends. This is why certain conversations stay in your mind longer than others. You replay them, searching for the moment where something shifted even if you cannot immediately name it. Usually, the moment was small, almost invisible, a brief impulse to say something real, followed by a quiet adjustment. Most people interpret this as a lack of confidence, but confidence is rarely the issue. Adaptation is. Your nervous system learned, slowly and quietly, that maintaining connection mattered more than maintaining expression. Not because of dramatic events, but because small experiences taught the body that tension could lead to distance, and distance feels unsafe to social beings. So, the system prioritizes harmony, even when harmony requires self-reduction. If this feels familiar, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to ZentraPsych. This channel exists to explore the quiet psychological systems operating beneath everyday behavior, so these experiences can be understood instead of mistaken for personal failure. The important thing to understand is that this response is not wrong. It helped you navigate environments where stability mattered. The problem appears only when it becomes automatic, when adjustment happens before awareness. Because when that happens, choice quietly disappears. You are no longer deciding how much of yourself to bring into the conversation. Your body has already decided for you. And the shift back does not begin with speaking louder or becoming confrontational. It begins earlier, with noticing. The moment your breath changes, the moment your voice softens unexpectedly, the moment you feel the urge to resolve tension before it even exists. That moment is small, but it changes everything. Because once you notice it, the adjustment slows down. You don't have to force a different response. You don't have to correct the conversation or explain yourself. You simply remain present long enough to feel what you are about to edit. And often, nothing bad happens. The conversation continues. The relationship remains intact. The world does not collapse. And your nervous system receives new information. That full presence is not as dangerous as it once believed. That stability does not require disappearance. Over time, conversations begin to feel different. You leave them with more energy instead of less. Not because others changed, but because you stopped negotiating yourself out of the moment. And the feeling of becoming smaller begins to fade, not through force or effort, but through awareness. Because once you see the moment you shrink, you also see that it was never required. And that recognition quietly returns something that never actually left.